good, everybody? Welcome to the channel. I'm Jared. This is the LVME. We doing a Smokin Reaction to new music from Tom MacDonald. It's Friday. It's Tom Day. This dude, I swear to God, is he not the hardest working rapper in the game here, at least lately? This guy has got new music and new albums coming out all the time. And if you didn't know, Tom makes his own music too. So he's not just writing rhymes. He is making the music to go with these things too. If it's your first time with me, thank you for hanging out. I got to let you know a couple things real quick, though. If you haven't seen this video from Tom yet, you haven't heard this music, and it's going to bug you because I'm stopping it, pausing it all the time, talking about what I hear, please click on the link right down there in the description. That's going to bounce you over to Tom's channel. Give him a like, sub, comment, all that stuff. Watch it there. Bounce back over here. Hang out with us. And we're going to do a Smokin Reaction, and we're going to discuss what we talking, what we seeing, what we hearing. Light me up in the comments with your opinion on what Tom is doing, what I got to say about it. I'll get back to as many as I can, and we're going to go ahead and pop this right here. Tom MacDonald, The Machine. I'm already going to guess this is pop culture, politically based type of stuff because the title, The Machine, is pretty self-explanatory there. And Tom has been fighting against the machine for a while. I've heard some silly rumors about Tom being an industry plant, which is one of the all-time dumbest things I've ever heard.
I am not Republican, I am not a liberal. Why the hell can't I just be American without getting political? The system gonna suppress us all, they don't care about the cost. How's this a democracy when we got communists in charge? Cancel culture Nazis, all they're missing is the swastikas. Honestly, this is a psychological holocaust. Pumping propaganda through the screen and straight into your brain. You ain't on a plantation, but you definitely still a slave. Race theory is indoctrinated.
All right. I gotta stop that. That music is really nice. Like, let's just go back a second and talk about this music here. Hold on.
I am not Republican, I am not a liberal. Why the hell can't I just be American without getting political? The system gonna suppress us all, they don't.
That beat is really smooth. Like, that beat is smooth. I like that a lot. That's a different kind of sound to hear from Tom lately. Usually a Tom MacDonald song comes off in this bam with the bass, and he's just firing fucking lyrics right off the top. This, I really like it, man. I really like that music. That music is absolutely fire. And I also like the fact now let's talk about what he had to say real quick. He's starting off with, I am not Republican or Democrat. He gets a lot of this crap down in the comment sections and in like Rolling Stone labeled him MAGA, all this stuff. And this is probably, if this continues here through this song, this is going to open up a wider conversation about Tom MacDonald and his right to talk about American stuff, being as he's technically Canadian. There's been a lot of talk about that lately, at least in the little independent rappers world, and I think we're going to be touching on that. But let's keep going. He's telling us right now he's not Republican or Democrat, which if you listen to Tom's music a lot, you know that already. But facts are facts, and when one side is making a lot more common sense than the other side at this point in history and this point in this frame in time that we're looking at right now, one side is clearly a better choice than the other side. But that doesn't mean that you're just this, you're this. It just means out of the two choices you have, one is obvious. Like, I know how I'm voting, and I wouldn't label myself a Republican. Like, I don't care about the party. I couldn't name you any Republicans I actually like politically other than the Don. And I mean, and he's barely won.
I am not Republican, I am not a liberal. Why the hell can't I just be American without getting political? The system gonna suppress us all, they don't care about the cost. How's this a democracy when we got communists in charge?
Houses of democracy when we got communists in charge. Facts.
So culture Nazis, all they're missing is the swastikas. Honestly, this
cancel culture just missing the swastikas. Oof. But think about it. He's really not wrong if you think about what was happening in Germany at that time. What was happening was if you spoke out against things, against the leader, against the government, you got clamped down. Now, it's not an exact analogy by any means. I'm not making a comparison between people who lived in that area and what we're going through now. I'm just saying the propaganda started somewhere. I mean, what do you think? They just woke up one day and just started rounding people up, and all of Germany was like, yay, go for it. Like, no, it was a propaganda war in the beginning to condition the public in order to get their brains where they could accept that type of thing, and it didn't seem unusual. And that's the analogy I feel that Tom is bringing up right here.
communists in charge. Cancel culture Nazis, all they're missing is the swastikas. Honestly, this is a psychological holocaust. Pumping propaganda through.
Psychological one, huh? And he said right there, pumping propaganda.
Oh, they don't care about the cost. How's this a democracy when we got communists in charge? Cancel culture Nazis, all they're missing is the swastikas. Honestly, this is a psychological holocaust. Pumping propaganda through the screen and straight into your brain. You ain't on a plantation, but you definitely still a slave.
But we are a slave to culture. Look how many people, we're a slave to our phones. A lot of our population is a slave to the dopamine hits that come from social media.
Race theory is indoctrinating children. Tell blacks they're disadvantaged, tell whites they got white privilege. What a brilliant way to reinforce division. If whites believe they have it easy, they will never help you fight the system.
You tell one side they're privileged, so they feel bad. Tell the other side they're disadvantaged, and oh, it's this person's, it's this group's fault. And you start telling them this when they're little. Yeah, man, you're going to breed a whole jacked up generation. Are you not? It's messed up, man. It's messed up. It's messed up. I like this. This is all real smooth. Like this music is really, I'm vibing with it. It's I like the music a whole lot, and Tom's spitting a lot of knowledge and fact here. And I'm gonna say something else. So he's been getting some flack lately for being quote like Canadian. Which, yeah, okay, so dude was born in Canada, and, like, he's lived in America for a very long time, and there's some people in the independent rap world that are running around, like, and maybe in the greater atmosphere, or the greater outside world as well, that are like, this dude has no right to talk about America because he's Canadian, which is the biggest bunch of crap I've ever heard in my life. Dude lives here. He lives here. He's lived here for, like, a decade. He moved here before he made it. So all the money he's earned living here, which means he's paying taxes on all that loot here in America. He's spending his money here in America. He's going to the store and buying shit here in America. As far as I know, he's working through the process of becoming a citizen of here, America. This is what America is all about. You don't have to be fucking born here to have a right to talk about politics here. And some people are trying to play it off like Tom is sitting up in Canada laughing his head off, making fun of Americans, which is not what's happening at all. He lives here and he's talking about shit that's happening in the country that he lives in and has lived in for a while and clearly cares about. The man has donated some $250,000 to our veterans. Like, I get very annoyed with that whole thing that's been kind of floating around. All right, that somehow that this man can't discuss this type of thing because he wasn't born in this country. It's the biggest anti-American crock of shit I've heard in quite a while.
Brilliant way to reinforce division. If whites believe they have it easy, they will never help you fight the system. And now they burning books in untraditional ways. They just traded newspapers for the digital age. Now the facts can be deleted with no physical flames.
Now they're burning books in untraditional ways. They traded paper for the digital age, and now they just delete shit, which is the same as burning a book. That's very clever. That's a very clever bar right there.
Facts can be deleted with no physical flames. They just change the information and the truth gets erased. They keep screaming to wake up, but they're all woke, not awake. We know the system has failed us and all the media's fake. I swear the government hates us. Having opinions is dangerous. The system built to enslave us only works if we're afraid. I am not Republican. I am not a liberal. Progressive.
The system they built to enslave us only works if we're afraid. And all of this division that they pump out when they sit there and tell every other minority to be angry at other races, when they tell you that you're disadvantaged and you're persecuted, and not to deny that some people are disadvantaged and some people are persecuted, but they're trying to pump this from everywhere like you're just stuck with it. When they tell you that, it makes you what? Afraid. The system only works if you're afraid. Now let's talk about that chorus real quick. This chorus is great, man. This is one of the, right off the top, first listen, one of my favorite choruses I've heard from Tom. There's something about the music and his singing voice that I'm really digging in comparison, especially to a lot of his prior choruses, which tend to be anthem-like, sing-song-like, everybody chiming in and chanting type of things, which I don't, they're cool. This one is dope, though. This one is very musical. I like the music. I like the singing. The tonality of his voice matches really well for me.
Enslave us only works if we're afraid. I am not Republican. I I am not a liberal, progressive and traditional, or hitman hired to kill the individual.
Oh my God, progressive and traditional, or hitman hired to kill the individual. Yes, you're just trying to lose your individuality and get into the group think. Group think is not good most of the time. Nothing's absolute, but most of the time group think is not good. And he's starting this stanza off with the same, I'm not a Democrat or Republican or liberal, whatever. You know what I'm saying. I like that too. He must be wanting to get this point out here.
I'm not Republican, I am not a liberal, progressive and traditional, or hitman hired to kill the individual. They label people red or blue, divide us, they don't ever help. They want you thinking left or right, so you ain't thinking for yourself. Go.
Yes. Absolutely. And yes, Tom does repeat this general idea a lot in his music, but you know what? It's an important one. People need to hear it until they can understand it, if they don't already, because it's a very important understanding. It's the type of epiphany that you can only have for yourself. One day it just clicks.
Want you thinking left or right, so you ain't thinking for yourself. Go ahead and vote, cause both the parties are the same side. Two teams, one coach, controlled by the same guys. Left wing, right wing, both help the same bird fly. Brainwashing everybody.
Left wing, right wing, both help the same bird fly.
Ain't thinking for yourself. Go ahead and vote, cause both the parties are the same side. Two teams, one coach, controlled by the same guys. Left wing, right wing, both help the same bird fly.
See, I would argue that that's 100% correct, and that is why you're seeing such persecution of the Don right now, because he does not really fit into those narratives. And believe me, I don't think that dude's the savior of humanity here or nothing. But when it comes to your political choices, I don't know, man. That's just where I'm at. Like, I don't know, man. Shit is crazy. Shit is crazy. And what Tom is saying here is definitely true. And the thing is how do we break the cycle? How do we stop this? They want you thinking this way or this way, so you come together in this box and you're separated out, groupthink, and all of these things that the system is trying to force us. How do we stop it? Has to start on an individual level, right?
Left wing, right wing, both help the same bird fly, brainwashing everybody at the same time. The internet was once a place that we could get our facts from. Now it's been monopolized. It's Google or it's Amazon. Fact checking the fact checkers.
Yeah, man, Google and Amazon. Like, do you know how much Amazon Web Services controls of the internet? Like, for instance, if you didn't know, that's why Amazon can do certain things that give them power over other businesses. They make so much money from AWS that they can lose money in other parts of their company and still be okay. So for instance, as an example, if they wanted to take Whole Foods and slash a good hunk of the price off and then lose money in those grocery stores in order to force the stores around them to go out of business, they could do that because they could still subsidize their Whole Foods with the money they have coming in from AWS. Now, this might be a poor example, but it's the general idea I'm trying to tell you. Like, Google and Amazon have so much fucking power right now. It's insane. And if they were physical companies, they likely would have been broken up a long time ago, I feel.
It's Google or it's Amazon. Who fact checking the fact checkers? I can answer that one. The people who control the narratives through the platforms. Let me break this down for you, simple as I can, Kate. They use social conditioning to put you in the rat race. It doesn't matter if you're first or third or if you're last place. You're still a rat, and they're the cats who kill you so you can't escape. They keep screaming to wake up, but they're all woke, not awake. We know that.
They keep screaming to wake up, but they're all woke, not awake. It's a good line.
Has failed us and all the media's fake. I swear
the system has failed us and all the media's fake. Yes. 10 years ago, approximately, if you said a place existed, there was an island owned by Jeffrey, and you believed what we now know to be facts about certain people like Bill Clinton, you were a wild ass right-wing conspiracy theorist. I mean, think about that. This is one example of how many we have now.
Republican. I am not a liberal.
Again.
I am just a man who knows they're scared of a nation that's thinking critical. They kill us or they lock us up for nothing like we're criminals. Divide us because they know that unified we are invincible.
Yes. They divide us because they know that unified we are invincible.
Questioning the government's agenda is controversial, but promoting guns and liquor in our music is commercial. They're confusing us with pronouns.
Hold on. Let's go back.
It's because they know that unified we are invincible. Questioning the government's agenda is controversial, but
Questioning the government's agenda is controversial, but if you rap about liquor in your WAP, you're all good. Yeah, explain that to me. How do we get flipped around like that?
It's because they know that unified we are invincible. Questioning the government's agenda is controversial, but promoting guns and liquor in our music is commercial. They're confusing us with pronouns they made up to make us triggered. You can call me what you want, but just don't call me late for dinner. School teaches you to learn and never teaches you to think. So you absorb misinformation, then you practice what they preach.
Oh my God. Wow. Yeah, Tom's going off, man. He's got some shit to say. Let's hear this. I like this right here.
Dinner, school teaches you to learn and never teaches you to
School teaches you to learn, it never teaches you to think. There's a big difference. Memorizing facts, thinking for yourself.
think. So you absorb misinformation, then you practice what they preach.
So you absorb misinformation, so you practice what they preach.
You ain't free, can't you see that's how they want you to act?
Then you ain't free. Yes.
It's called conforming to the norm, you don't need freedom for that. I'm not Republican or liberal or left-wing or right-leaning. I took the red pills because that's who's fighting for my freedoms. And you don't need to choose to be accepted.
Yes, thank you. I'm not liberal or Democrat. I took the red pill because that's who's fighting for freedom. Yes, we're talking about a moment in time here, people. It's a moment in time where one side of the political spectrum is clearly using some common sense, and one side is clearly gone off the fucking deep end. At least the extremists of their party have, and the problem is that the extremists of their party have taken over the mainstream of their party. It's insane. That doesn't mean that you're fucking team Republican now and you believe everything the Republican Party has ever done, or that's you just bleed Republican red. Like, that's fucking stupid. We're at a moment in history right now. We're at a moment, a snapshot in time where it's just, the choice should be clear. The choice should be clear. I just got done raising a daughter. I cannot imagine being a parent in this environment right now. I thank God in heaven I don't have a newborn right now where I'm trying to put my kid in school and deal with all this stuff, and they're pumping their heads full of this insanity. Criminals running all over, the border's gone haywire, no cash bail. Like, we have people coming in from other countries assaulting our law enforcement officers, and I'm no big fan of LEOs, all right? But we need to have some law and order in a civilized society, and they're just getting released on a no-cash bail, then going to another state and doing the same shit, and then that gets pumped out on the news for the whole world to see that that's cool to come to America to do? Like, what the hell are we doing? It's crazy. It's crazy. And there's only one side of the spectrum of the political parties that's pumping that insanity right now.
Fake teams, evil runs the world now like hell ain't got no vacancy. They keep screaming.
Evil runs the world like hell ain't got no vacancy.
But they're all woke, not awake. We know the system has failed us and all the media's fake. I swear the government hates us. Having opinions is dangerous. The system built to enslave us only works if we're afraid.
The system they built to enslave us only works if we're afraid. Yeah, man. That was great. That was really good. That music was amazing. But the message here is even more powerful than any he's put out in a while, I feel. That really rang true for me right there. And he said some things that we need to wake up. It's important, I think, that he kept repeating, I'm not left or right. Just because one side is making sense right now, that doesn't mean you're that side now. I mean, I'm trying to think of an analogy that would make sense off the top of my fucking head right now, and I'm having a hard time coming up with one, but it's just, we need to get over this tribalism and just start thinking some common sense solutions here in order to steer the ship away from where we're going here as a country. I think that's pretty clear as a culture. Like it's frightening to see, and we need to wake up on an individual basis to what's happening here and stop putting ourselves into boxes and start looking for ways that we can work together to get these fucking people behind the machine out of power. What did you think of that, man? What did you think? I would love to know. Hit me up in the comments. I'd love to know your thoughts about what I said, about Tom's rights to talk about what he's talking about. I think that's clear. I think if you're a person that arguing that Tom doesn't have a right to talk about this stuff, is you're either A, misinformed and you just didn't know, or B, I'm sorry, you're just flat out wrong. And it's not the way this country works. And I'd love to know your thoughts on the song itself and anything else in there. Let me know, everybody. Now, finally, we're doing another Tom MacDonald giveaway here on the channel, all right? And for this first one here, we're going to go all the way back. We're going to be giving away Tom MacDonald's Death Threats. It's a brand new CD here. I've got a whole stack here of Tom MacDonald CDs that we're going to be giving away through the channel. Now, the way that you can enter to get this CD is going to be a random drawing. All you got to do is leave a comment that says Death Threats or Tom MacDonald CD, all right, or put me in the contest for the CD, whatever you want to do that references this CD, this giveaway. And we're going to do the next, I'm going to do 3 Tom MacDonald videos, this one and 2 more. Then I'm going to gather all of the comments, and I'm going to pick a random one, and that person is going to get this in the mail from me. The only requirements are what I just said. Leave a comment. I'd appreciate it if you'd like the video, and you definitely got to hit that subscribe button, okay? That's it. Hit me up in the comments. I'll see you all on the next one. If you want to support the channel, there's a bar going across the top. See you later, everybody. Peace.